All right, welcome back. Today, just like Wednesday, we're going to do notes and a Delta Math assignment. Um, this is on your third time taking notes, so I'm still going to walk you through the basics here. Your title for today is Solving Two-Step Equations. I would start a brand new page. That could be the back of a page, though. I want you to use the front and back. It'll make your materials last longer. But your title for today is Solving Two-Step Equations. All right, and then I want you to go ahead and pause and write these steps down. Okay, once you have these 3 lines written down, go ahead and unpause and we'll talk about them. So step 1 here is to isolate the variable using addition or subtraction. Really what we're doing is we're trying to move things away from a variable. So we want to move the things that are farther away first and the things that are closest to that variable last. So that means addition and subtraction are always farther away. We're going to get rid of those first. Step 2, isolate the variable using multiplication or division. Remember, multiplication is right up against that variable. They don't even put a sign in between. So that's closer, so we're going to get rid of it last. Whatever you do to one side, you must do to the other. Again, that's why we're drawing the line down. Because we have to keep it balanced. If we add 2 to both sides, it's equal. If we add 2 to only one side, then it's no longer equal. All right, so these are your steps, and we'll go ahead and move on to some examples. So our first example we're doing together today is 3x plus 15 equals 24. And again, I'm going to repeat myself and what I said on Wednesday, but you need to show your work. Even if you think these are easy, trust me, even starting just next week, they're going to get more complex. You need to practice with the easy ones so that you can have better success with the harder ones. So I know that you might be able to plug in numbers for x and guess. Like maybe you guess 2 and it magically works. But I need you to work through the process on these easier ones for when we do the harder ones. And if you're already struggling now, that's okay too. Everyone's at a different point in their skills, but I do ask that if you need help, that you're seeking out that help. So remember, during our class period, you can pop back in and ask questions. You can always ask for help before after school, during Wolfpack on occasion. So make sure that you're not just, oh, well, I don't get it. Okay, you need to ask for some help. Here you have 3x plus 15 equals 24. We are trying to isolate this x. So we have to move things that are further away from it first. So this 15 is further away from x than 3 is. So I'm going to do the opposite and subtract 15 from both sides. 24 minus 15 is 9. Okay, and I'm bringing down that 3x. Sorry about that. It should be fixed now. Okay, so you have your 3x here. And you bring down whatever is not crossed out. So we crossed out this minus 15 here because they make a 0. Then these are connected by multiplication because they're right next to each other. So the opposite is division. So you're going to divide by 3 on both sides. So you have x equals 9 divided by 3 is 3. Or even division and fractions are really the same. 9/3 is the same as 3. All right, next example. 2z minus 1 equals -5. So again, I strongly encourage you draw this line down the middle. And then we're trying to isolate z. So we're going to move that -1 first because it's farther away from z than 2 is. So we'll do the opposite and add 1 to both sides. So we have 2z, don't forget to bring down the 2, equals, different signs, you take the difference. The difference is 4. The bigger was negative, so it is a -4. Then these are connected by multiplication because they're neighbors, they're right next to each other. So you're going to divide, since that's the opposite, on both sides. -4 divided by 2 is -2. Okay, one of each means your final answer is negative. Two more examples together, and then I'll have you do two on your own. But again, line first. I'm isolating x, and I have to move this 25 first. So the opposite of subtraction is addition. I'm going to add 25 to both sides. So then you have 2x equals, these are different signs, so you take the difference. The difference is 10. The bigger is negative, so it's a negative 10. Then I have this 2. They're connected by multiplication because they're right next to each other. We're going to do the opposite and divide by 2 on both sides. Negative 10 divided by 2 is negative 5. Again, use your calculator to check yourself if you need to. There's no shame in that. All right, line first. All right, it is often helpful to highlight your variable. We have to move the 17 first because it is farther away from n than this 2 is. I'm going to do the opposite, which is subtract 17 from both sides. So this one's gone. I still have my n divided by 2. That fraction bar is the same as division. 23 minus 17 is 6. We're taking n and dividing by 2, so the opposite is to multiply by 2 on both sides. 6 times 2 gives us 12. All right, so those are the 4 that we've done together. What I would like you to do now is pause and work on these 2. Again, I know that I can't prove that you did that, but it will serve you well in the long run if you try it by yourself. It is so much easier to watch me do it. Again, this is my 7th year doing this. I have some experience. So trust me, try them yourself. If you get stuck, then you can see where you went wrong. But if you just copy me doing them, you won't have that opportunity to fix your errors. So go ahead and pause, and then unpause when you've finished. So here we're isolating z. So first you have to subtract 1. And then you have to divide by negative 3. Which is negative 2. On this one, we're isolating n. So we're going to subtract 20, which is negative 10, and then divide by 2, which is negative 5. And I want to remind you before we wrap up here that you can always plug these back in. If negative 5 is n, then you can do 2 times negative 5 plus 20. Let's type that into our calculator even, because that'll be quick. All right. 2 times negative 5 plus 20. That's 10. Okay, you can always do a quick type in to make sure you're right. You should really never be wondering, did I do this right? Did I not? You should be able to check. And that's a really good skill to have, to attend to precision and make sure you're doing things correctly. Okay, even in the real world, being able to check your work, any work you do, and provide a quality product, a quality answer, will serve you well in the long run. All right, so that's the end of our notes for today. Again, your paper should look just like mine as we went through, and now you're moving on to your Delta Math assignment. If you still have questions and it's still our class period hour, feel free to pop back in. I'd be happy to work with you.